Today is Pastor Bonus Sunday. No, it doesn't mean that Father Dindo gets extra money. Pastor Bonus is Latin for the Good Shepherd. We focus on the role of Jesus as the Good Shepherd and our response as faithful sheep of his flock. Our first reading takes place on Pentecost Sunday after the coming of the Holy Spirit. St. Peter, appointed shepherd of the flock by Jesus now, after he has ascended into heaven, is finishing his first sermon. Peter ends by proclaiming, "Let the whole house of Israel know without a doubt that God has made both Lord and Messiah, this Jesus whom you crucified." The theme of the Good Shepherd is heard in the 23rd Psalm as well for today. The Lord is my shepherd. There is nothing that I shall want. St. Peter's words are also heard in our second reading. Peter is encouraging the flock to stay true to the Good Shepherd, even in the midst of trials and persecutions. Jesus, the Good Shepherd, has already experienced the worst suffering for his flock. Now, if we turn to the Gospel from John, Jesus is portrayed now as the Good Shepherd. He is the one who calls each sheep and leads all his flock to safety. He is also the sheep gate. Jesus has a personal relationship with his sheep. They know him as he calls their name. The Good Shepherd is willing to lay down his life for the protection of the sheep and leads them to verdant pastures. Jesus is concerned for each of us in a very personal and intimate way. He knows each of us. He is willing to do whatever is necessary so that none of us is lost or hurt. We should not worry about anything if we truly know the voice of our Good Shepherd and respond to his call. Our Good Shepherd will provide for us. It helps to know what a shepherd did at the time of Jesus. First, they would lead the flock by day. They would go in front of the sheep, and the sheep would follow them. This is different than modern shepherds who often have sheepdogs who lead and they stay behind. In Jesus' time, the sheep would know the voice of their shepherd, and they would follow as the shepherd spoke to them. At night, the shepherd would bring the sheep back to a stone wall enclosure with no gate. The gate would be the shepherd himself. He would lay down and sleep in the opening of the sheep pen. Thus, the shepherd would prevent thieves and wild animals from getting into the enclosure by being inside that living gate. If there were many flocks inside the sheep walls, the shepherds would each take a turn being that sheep gate. In the morning, each shepherd would call his flock, and only his sheep would follow him, not the other shepherds, because they knew the voice of their shepherd, and they would only follow him. The shepherd's main focus was always the good of the sheep, and not his own comfort, not his own pleasure. When the sheep could no longer shepherd, when the shepherd could no longer shepherd the sheep, try saying that real fast 3 times. He would find someone to carry on his role. He would work with his replacement, and the new shepherd would become familiar then with the new sheep. We can see how Jesus is our Good Shepherd. He has established a personal relationship with each of us. Not only does Jesus, the Good Shepherd, have a personal relationship with us, Jesus has laid down his life as the sheep gate. His body is the only thing which keeps us safe. Our response is simply to listen to the voice of the Good Shepherd and to follow him. We need to be obedient and to dedicate our lives to follow where he leads. If we are called to shepherd part of his flock, we must be willing to do so with the same interest and loving concern as the Good Shepherd.